Today, we're making deer camp chili. Now, everybody likes chili. This is today adjustable chili. You can adjust it according to the way you like it. Now, what I've done is I've started off with 1.5 pounds of deer hamburger. The 3 C's, and one of these you're gonna think I'm crazy. First of all, chili powder, obviously. Then you have your cumin, however you say that. Then cinnamon. I know, just a dash of that. Now, what I do is I start out with 3 tablespoons of chili powder, 1 tablespoon of cumin, and a dash of cinnamon, okay? That's 1 packet. Some people don't like it any stronger than that. Sometimes I'll use 3 times that in my chili, depending on what people like. Also, here's my extra ingredient. That's the attitude adjuster, depending on how much heat you want. I also use 2, this is tomatoes out of my garden. They're about 28 ounces a piece of tomatoes, fresh out of the garden tomatoes, however you like that. Sometimes I'll even spice up with a little homemade salsa, okay? Here's what we do. I will take an onion to the size, about half of that. I'm gonna cut these up real fine. And again, this is something you can have ready to serve in about a half an hour. All right, now here's our onion. We're gonna dump that in. You can chop it up finer if you'd like to do it. Now we have our tomatoes, which I'm gonna go ahead and dump in there. A lot of tomatoes, I love my tomatoes. All right, here's all of that. Now, some people like beans, some people don't. I do. And I'll get 1 can. And there's some seasoning in the cans themselves, so remember that. If you're starting to get it really, I use 1 hot can and 1 mild can. So don't forget about that. If you get a bunch of hot beans, it's really gonna crank up the temperature. I'm gonna drop my seasonings in here. And I'm also gonna add some seasoned salt. And that gives it a nice salty, robust flavor. And just I don't know, half a tablespoon of that. Then I'm gonna add a little bit of garlic powder. And I'd say a half a teaspoon of that. Okay, I'll mix that up. Starting to smell like chili. And you can actually taste this because your meat's already cooked. You can start tasting to see how you need to adjust from this point. If you want more chili powder, I would go in increments like what I did. Start all over, you can do you another one. Some people like more, some people like less. I'm gonna add 1 more round of chili powder, cumin, and just a dash of cinnamon. A little bit more seasoned salt. As you can see, we need a little bit of liquid. I like a little bit of beer in my chili. Whatever brand you like. If you don't like alcohol, you can get non-alcohol, but it really does something to it. It really makes it taste good. Mix that up a little bit. And now if you're gonna let this cook a while, you need more liquid. I like to put a little bit of V8 in here. I like the taste of it. I like all those vegetable tastes. They really bring out the flavor. Sugar. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not heaping. A lot of tomatoes, a lot of acid. So to cut that acid, I'll put some just plain white sugar in there. Now, I have noticed that this is not quite hot enough for me. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take me some jalapenos and I'm gonna dip some out on the board here. This is my chili attitude adjustment. Let's try that. Still not quite hot enough for me, so. Jalapeno juice. That's good for you. Vitamin C. I like mushrooms in my chili, I really do. Some people don't. If you don't worry about it. Just add some consistency, nice little flavor. All right, it's cold, you might say gross, but I get an idea what it's gonna taste like. So now I'm gonna take this over to the stove. All right, now I've only let this cook maybe a half hour. Now you can let it go a lot longer, obviously, but if you got a bunch of people who are starving to death, boom, it's quick, it's easy. I'm gonna taste it. I'll show you what I like to do to my chili. All right, I'm gonna put a dollop of sour cream in there. Maybe a dollop and a half. I'm gonna take me some goldfish. I'm gonna mix that all up. Look how creamy that gets. That just makes it nice and creamy and rich. That's your half-hour chili recipe. Again, if you want a little quicker, cook the onions in with a hamburger. That gets them done quicker. Cook it, boom, bang. Feed everybody, get them back out in the deer stand. And you might want to leave the beans out for those of you who are going to be close to the deer, if you know what I mean.